forgive me, but 20 doesn't seem like a lot.
20 from 0 is a lot. We had.
I need you in front of the microphone.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I'm sorry I was late.
No, that's okay. So you're talking about the 20 voucher holders that have
yeah.
mainstream voucher holders? Yeah, so for decades, the Housing Authority has never had mainstream voucher resources at the Housing Authority. So this is the first time in the last couple of years that we've had those resources available to the community. Mainstream vouchers are much like emergency housing vouchers in a way that they serve non-elderly disabled households or individuals or families, and they're able to be, as long as they have a referral from the coordinated entry system, can be brought to the top of a waiting list and have a quicker process into getting those vouchers. So we have about 140 of those vouchers that are new to the Housing Authority. 25 of them were provided to us right during COVID through the CARES Act. So we are really proud to be able to expand our housing choice voucher program with Mainstream, and now in addition to the emergency housing voucher program. It is inching toward a bigger problem, but we're really happy that inching toward that problem is happening here at the Housing Authority.
Can I ask, I have statistics for the state of Rhode Island that says between January 1st and May 27th of this year, 225 people were referred for a housing subsidy. 87 people got a housing subsidy, and only 35 people were able to use that housing subsidy to find housing. That's in Rhode Island as a whole, maybe not just Providence. But is there a plan in the works that addresses the scale of this problem? Because when I look at the number of people who are homeless, the number of people who are at risk, I'm seeing 657 people on a waiting list for shelter. I'm seeing 390 people who are living in, quote, places not meant for human habitation. I'm seeing the number of people experiencing homeless now in government-supported hotels are 212. And the latest point in time count from January said 869 people, including 320 in family shelters and 549 in individual shelters. I mean, these are pretty glaring statistics, and I don't see state or federal or city any plan or anything that addresses the scale of this problem, which is huge and, like you said, probably going to grow.
Well, there is a plan pending right now. It's the American Infrastructure Plan. And a significant part of that, billions of dollars, will be devoted to building affordable rental housing. One of the problems that's illustrated by the questions is there is insufficient housing for these people. Even with vouchers, as you pointed out, Steve pointed out, people can't get housing. What we've tried to do from the CARES Act to this legislation, American Rescue Plan, is to give the states and locality more resources, and we have, but the real solution to this problem is building more affordable housing.
Yeah.
And doing that not just off and on, but consistently. And I must commend, though, I think with the resources they've had and the extra resources, the Providence Housing Authority has really reached out. We have a coordinated system. We know how many people who are not getting their adequate housing. We're trying to make arrangements for them. I know living in a hotel is not particularly attractive, but frankly, it's probably a better place to be than out on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I've met some people who are living in a lot now in Providence, and they've been establishing like a place there, but it's still very difficult for them, and the level of safety they find just being together in a small lot. I mean, is there a plan for more temporary, like, there's short, medium, and long range solutions, right? So short term, is there more shelter? Long term, the housing that we're talking about might take 4 years to build. I mean, even if we get there.
It might take that, but that's one of the other reasons why we provided the state with $1.25 billion last year in the CARES Act, and another 1.2 plus $500 million for localities, so that local and state officials have some resources to do what you're suggesting, that short run, medium run, how do we help these people. Then we'd like to come back with the infrastructure plan that the president's negotiating with the Republicans, so that we can start doing that medium to longer term, build actually new units.
And not to monopolize, but are you saying that you want to encourage the governor and the General Assembly to then use that money in a very proactive sense to tackle this problem?
I think the money's available and their demands on it are tough, but I've already seen you know, both Speaker Sakatri and the governor making affordable housing a prominent, you know, for the first time in many years, a prominent, and in fact, probably the number one item on the agenda, because they understand exactly what you pointed out. We have, you know, we have people that have actually a voucher in their hand but can't find a unit.
Right.
And you know, Melissa's efforts are trying to not only bring together those without shelter, but also the landlords,
Right.
and provide incentives for them to put it in. And the one thing I did neglect to point out is the belated happy birthday, because last Saturday she was 27 years old.
27, yes.
27 last Saturday.
Thank you.
Any other questions?